Hi guys, I got something really cool to show you today. This is the Marfione Custom Knives Anax. This is the Aught Design Edition with the 3 fullers on the handle, bead blasted finish, and the bead blasted finish in the finger groove on the blade. Overall length is 8.5 inches. The blade itself is 3.6 inches long with a Anax steel. It's got a hollow grind. And again, it has that really cool groove in the blade. It's on both sides. The handle is really what sets this knife apart. It's a 4.7 inches long. It's an integral titanium billet. It is one piece titanium, making it extremely strong, very rigid. Some of the other aspects of the handle that are really neat is the pocket clip. It's got a titanium silicone nitride bearing. It's very stiff. Getting in and out of the pocket can sometimes be a chore, but it's in there very strong. The pivot, it's a ceramic bearing system pivot, so it's very smooth. It's not too loose, but it's quite, it opens and closes quite smoothly. Weight 5.26 ounces, which is adds a little bit of weight with the integral handle, but it feels very, very nice in the hand. Another aspect of this that I like that's very subtle, such as the profile of the handle itself. It's hard to tell, but when you pick it up, you feel that there's actually a bit of a profile for the hand, a bit of a groove that you can see, maybe see in the middle here. And as well, it has a lock bar stabilizer in and under the steel, replaceable steel insert. So it's not titanium. The part that contacts the back of the blade to close it or to keep it open is actually steel rather than titanium. It's replaceable with 2 screws, and you can kind of make it out. Just contacts there, and it comes around the back part here. It's very interesting. The lock bar, I believe, overall can be removed. Obviously, this is something that would be done probably when you send it in for servicing if necessary, but it's very interesting. The knife opens on a bar here, which I guess can also be replaced. So that's something that also is, so you're not opening onto a piece of titanium, so it's a little bit stronger, a little bit more durable with stainless lock bar, I guess you call it. I really like this knife. Interestingly enough, having owned a bunch of different knives in the past, the one knife that I guess I can compare it to the best, which is unfortunately not a knife that I have in my possession right now, is a Reeve large Sebenza. It's very similar in size to the Sebenza. It's got the similar feel of the grip, the similar ergonomics of a Sebenza, and the similar blade profile and hollow grind of a Sebenza. So I have no idea if there's any, if Tony Marfione had any idea from that or anything, but if there was any knife I could compare it to feel-wise, it would be a large Sebenza. The Sebenza, just for comparison, is a 8 3/16 overall length compared to the 8.5 inch. So consider this just a little bit bigger than a large Sebenza. The blade in a Sebenza is 3.5. This one's 3.6. Handle length in a large Sebenza is 4.625 inches compared to the 4.87. So it's just a little bit beefier, but the shape of the blade, the shape of how it feels in your hand reminds me a lot of what the Sebenza felt like, including the deep hollow grind. If anyone has had a Reeve knife in the past or have one currently, it's got a similar blade feel to it, even in how it sounds when you, like the hardness of the blade and everything. It's very, I don't know, it just reminds me a lot of it. I do have another integral handled knife, just for the simple fact of showing it. This is the Reminiscent titanium integral. So this was the first integral knife I bought, having a one-piece titanium handle. They're both very nice. I both love them. I think it takes a lot of skill, takes a lot of experience to successfully produce an integral handled knife. That's why you don't see them very often. They're expensive to make, require a lot more material to work with because you're working out of a single billet, but you do end up with an extremely nice, very rigid, very durable, very, very strong folder. Both frame locks. I do like the additional technology, or whatever you want to call it, the little things that Marfione does with his knives, with the removable pieces or replaceable pieces with like the lock bar stabilizer. This one does not have a lock bar stabilizer, but they're both extremely well made knives. This is more of a smooth slicer, thinner blade, Elmax steel. Reminiscent uses big thick S90V steel with a flat grind, so it goes very thick down to the blade. So different design. I love them both. They both are excellent knives. I'm both going to be keeping them for quite some time. One thing I forgot to add for this knife when I was going through it is something very unique to this knife in particular. Rather than having a hole at the back of your handle like many knives do to tie on a lanyard with some paracord or something like that, this knife has a very unique system. In the back of the handle you have this little hole here. I'll provide a little bit of a closer view shortly, or maybe an overlay while I talk. It has this, and this is the lanyard. This is the lanyard that came with it. I've heard word that they'll be looking at producing some other different options you can probably buy later, and have different ways to attach the back of the handle. In the back is the hole with some threads in it. This is the lanyard that came with it. Piece of steel cable with some threads on the end and a piece of design. Essentially you can just stick it in, screws in, and you have your lanyard. Unfortunately for me, I'm left-handed, so putting this in my pocket's causing the lanyard to come forward and a little bit awkward, but I think it would be kind of neat in the right pocket, right front or right back pocket, for it to stick out and you can grab it or use it wherever. It's very different, probably takes getting used to if you want to carry it with it. Right now I just have it put away, but in the future, like I said, there may be options to find. You may be looking at making different varieties of it, with maybe some different type of things you can put into it. I'm hoping one where you can have it stick out a little bit with a hole, so you can attach some paracord or something else, or some line, and attach a bead or something. I like really short lanyards myself, just enough to grab it out of your pocket a little bit easier, but I think it's pretty unique. It comes out, and it's pretty cool. This knife also comes with a really nice storage bag for travel or what have you in it. Beautiful and very nice soft material, both inside this pocket here and a little bit of Velcro. I guess you want to add some patches or keep your Microtech patches. In the front, comes with a really cool titanium Velcro patch. You could put it on some clothing, or put it on, or collect it, or keep it on the front of the pouch. Just something to show. Very neat, very cool. But an excellent way to store it if you don't want to keep it out on display or you're not carrying it.